There's always more to learn about the adventure game genre, so today I'm going to be taking a quick look at the history of the adventure video game. Hey guys, and welcome to YakWaxLips. My name is Michael, your point and click adventurer, and today is something a little bit different. We're not going to be playing a game, we're going to be having a look at the history of them. Yes, this is the history of the adventure video game by Christopher Carton. If this is your first time here, I look at a load of adventure games. Most of the time I review them and play them. Today we're going to be looking at this book. So if you like to point and click, make sure that you do so over that like, hit subscribe for more and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of my adventure game videos. So this book came out at the back end of 2023. I got an advanced copy and I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm going to tell you my thoughts, what's great, what's not so great, and where you can get it from. So first off, Christopher Carton is the author and he has written several books on movies and games in the past, all through pen and sword books. And this book here starts right at the beginning with a text adventure and goes all the way through to 2022. I was nervous when I first got it because if you can see on the front cover there, you've got Melee Island, you've got Manny and Glotis, and then you've also got Minecraft. And for me, that's not an adventure game, but it doesn't actually mean Minecraft. It's actually the Telltale game, and that's what this book looks at. It's not about point-and-click adventure games exclusively. It does go all the way through, including Telltale. So let's dive in and have a look. The book is divided into 6 very specific chapters. Chapter 1 is the birth of text adventures. Chapter 2 is a history of Sierra Online. Chapter 3, the history of LucasArts. Chapter 4, influential classics. Chapter 5, the history of Telltale adventure games. And Chapter 6, the return of the classic adventure game. There are dozens and dozens of games that Sierra Online released, and this book just mentions the big hitters, like starting out with the High-Res Adventures and Mystery House, moving on to King's Quest, Space Quest, Police Quest, the Leisure Suit Larry series, and a few other individual games like Torrin's Passage and Phantasmagoria. If you want a real deep dive into Sierra adventure games, then I highly recommend Sean Mills' book, The Sierra Adventure. I'll leave a link for that down below as well. Once we are done with Sierra, we move swiftly on to the history of LucasArts, and just like Sierra, it goes through the games one by one in release order. The section about Monkey Island, as expected, does go over quite a few pages and takes in Monkey Island 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then just like that, we're over to the influential classics. Now this is looking at games released around about the same time, but that weren't LucasArts or Sierra. Also takes a look at a few games released in the noughties. It's a really interesting section because he mentions a few games I've not heard of, like Cosmic Spacehead. The Telltale section includes games like Sam & Max, Wallace & Gromit, and of course The Walking Dead. And then after that we hit the final chapter, which is the return of the classic adventure. This is looking at games released from about 2010 onwards. It includes things like the Yesterday series, Broken Age, and Thimbleweed Park. It goes right the way up to 2022 and the release of Return to Monkey Island, and even includes an upcoming game which was due to be released in 2023, and that's Simon the Sorcerer Origins. And that's the book's 6 chapters right there. As a look at the history of adventure games, it does a pretty good job at detailing where it all started, what happened in the 90s and the noughties, and where it's going. It doesn't exactly do a deep dive on anything, but if you're new to the genre or just have a vague interest, then I would definitely pick it up. It's written with clear and concise language and is easily readable. There are 1 or 2 things that I would have liked to have seen in the book. First off, in the final chapter talking about the return of the classic adventure games, there are no mention at all of Wadgetai games. No Unavowed, no Blackwell, nothing. And considering the amount of influence that Dave of Wadgetai has had, I think that's a big missing point. And this section overall could have been fleshed out quite a lot more. The adventure game scene at the moment is thriving with developers all over the world creating fantastic games, and unfortunately there's next to nothing about these. Maybe that's another book in itself. There are also 1 or 2 images which are a little pixely, as if they've been screenshots and just added to the book. Most are okay, but specifically the earlier games. And with it being just shy of 150 pages, it is a little slim for the price of £25. There has been a lot of love gone into it though, and I'm happy that I've got it, and I think that you like it too. that there was my review of the history of the adventure video game. So in short, it's a nice skim over the history of the adventure game as much as you can do it in 150 pages. If you've already got a copy or you're about to buy it, let me know what you think down in the comments. For me, it's well worth having on your shelf, and you can grab a copy from the links down below. Come over and join the party over on Patreon. We're having a wonderful time. Just bring your own grog. All of my links will be down below as well, so follow, share, blah blah blah. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon or evening, whatever it is you're doing right now, and take care.